Doug, Bluffington is really Richmond, Virginia, where Jim Jenkins and I are both from.
So you said you worked on Doug when it was at Nickelodeon, right? How long did you work on that show? And were you there before it went to Disney, basically?
Yeah, yes. The answer is yes. But here's the thing. Jim had, and I'll tell you in a way that I think will be informative and amusing. Yes, I did. I did have the great pleasure to work on it. It was also something that was new because they had not made a cartoon in 40 years in New York. And so we didn't know what we were doing. I actually was the original creative director consultant for the launch of Nicktoons. And Jim, I knew Jim. Jim had brought me up to New York 10 years earlier. And we had done stuff and I had helped him get an advertising and do some stuff like that. We did a USA Network promo that he let me produce that had a precursor to Doug in it for USA Network. You can look it up on YouTube. Just put USA Network with early Doug or something. It wasn't Doug, but it looks like Doug and Pork Chop. Anyway, I ended up, this is where failure leads to success in a way. So about Doug, okay? Doug, Bluffington is really Richmond, Virginia, where Jim Jenkins and I are both from. My girlfriend in college had introduced me to him, and they grew up on Valentine Road, which is Skeeter's last name. There really was a Roger, a bully, and he's still around. He knows that he is the Roger. And when I was doing commercials for Tricks, Jim came to meet me for lunch one day and he was waiting for me to get off the phone and he drew a dog. This is 2, 3 years before Doug. And under the dog, he wrote, "Pork Chop the dog barks way too loud." And I thought that was a funny one-panel cartoon, and it was on my office door for years. And in the middle of Doug, I walked by him once and I said, "I wish I had that drawing." And he said, "I do."
Wow.
This was painted by Michael Zadarozny, I think. But I drew it, and I try to put implied motion in my drawings as much as I can. So you see Skeeter's ice cream goes into Pork Chop's cup, and here's uh, um, Patty Mayonnaise. Now, Patty Mayonnaise is based on a woman, half on a woman named Pam Mayo that Jim had a crush on in high school. And my college girlfriend could shoot three-pointers before they were a thing in basketball. And
Mm.
and here's Roger taking it, but he hits these are his cronies, and that tips the table, and it all comes back around to, where the
Mm.
where the bad guys get it.
Yeah.
But I didn't I designed Doug's house,
Mm.
a lot of the rooms, but I did not design Miss Swirly's.
Mm.
And I don't know what else you would want to know about it.